It's an exciting day in the science lab. 2 new elements were arriving today. All of the elements were excited to meet them. Even Arsenic, who wasn't very friendly, came along. Surprisingly, the new elements were not elements at all.
Hi, I'm Potassium Chloride, an ionic compound. And I'm ammonia, a covalent compound. But you don't look like potassium.
And what's a compound anyway?
The elements were confused. They recognized elements like potassium and chlorine. However, they've never heard of a compound before. Compounds were confused that the pure elements didn't know about them and decided to explain how they became compounds. Potassium chloride recalls how it became an ionic compound.
Hi.
This is chlorine. And this is potassium. If we zoom in, we can see how these 2 elements became a compound. This is a chlorine atom. Its nucleus has 17 protons and 18 neutrons, and overall it has 17 electrons. But this atom is unstable. It only carries 7 electrons in its valence shell. But this atom was determined to find an electron and become a stable ion. This is a potassium atom. Its nucleus has 19 protons and 20 neutrons, and overall it has 19 electrons. But this atom is unstable too. This atom wants to get rid of the extra electron in its valence shell.
Chlorine atom, do the electron, do the full valence shell, potassium atom, extra electron, ionic bond, full valence shells.
The extra electron from potassium's valence shell is exchanged to fill chlorine's valence shell. Potassium, the metal in this compound, becomes a positively charged ion, and chlorine, the nonmetal, becomes a negatively charged ion and is also renamed as chloride. The ions are happy that they now have full valence shells and are stable.
Yay!
This compound is now ionic, meaning it has a lattice structure and contains many new properties, like being able to conduct electrical current when a liquid state, and has a high melting point. Ammonia recalls on how it became a covalent compound. Nitrogen trihydride is made up of 2 elements. Both of them are nonmetals, nitrogen and hydrogen. Let's zoom in again. This is a nitrogen atom. Its nucleus has 7 protons and 8 neutrons, and overall it has 7 electrons. This atom is also unstable. To become stable, nitrogen was determined to find friends that will share valence electrons with it. This is a hydrogen atom. Its nucleus only has 1 proton and no neutrons. It also only has 1 electron. This atom is friends with 2 other hydrogen atoms, and they all need to share their 1 electron to become stable.
Nitrogen atom, valence shell, electron. Hydrogen atom, electrons,
The electrons from the hydrogen's valence shells connect to nitrogen's valence shell. These 4 atoms become a covalent compound, nitrogen trihydride or ammonia. It's also a neutral ligand. Through the process of sharing electrons, the atoms become stable and have full valence shells. As a covalent compound, they have new properties as well, like being a poor conductor of electricity and having a low melting point.
So you used to be elements like us?
And now you're ionic and covalent compounds? I didn't know elements could do that.
The new elements are welcome to the lab and they all become friends.